we are at the 24-hour mark of day 1. Now keep in mind, this is all fresh milled flour, which means it does oxidize, so it will change colors a little bit just as it's exposed to oxygen. It's totally normal. You have some hooch. You can see the liquid kind of moving around in there. This is totally normal. It's actually just a sign that fermentation is starting, but fermentation's a little off. So there's an imbalance. I am starting actually to see some bubbles. If you're using mostly commercial flour, you probably will not have bubbles at this point. But because there's more microbes on the fresh milled flour, it always has what I call a false start. So the first few days there will be bubbles, and then by about day 5, it dies off. Now this can happen with commercial flour too. Usually it doesn't happen until day 2 or 3. So hooch is normal, there's nothing wrong with it. You're fine, it's not mold. If you're doing fresh milled flour, the color will be a little bit funky and off. So prefer to feed into a clean jar. This just helps you keep your weights accurate. The more often you clean the jar, the easier it is to clean. So clean jar, put it on my scale, and I'm just gonna take 10 grams of this and put it in my jar. So I'm gonna stir it around a little bit, especially on day 1. You can see this is nice and stretchy. It doesn't really smell like anything other than flour. If you're using commercial flour, you might have a little bit more of a scent to it, just because it will ferment a little bit differently. Got a little too much here. Going to do 10 grams of flour and 10 grams of water. I always do, okay, that was actually 15 grams of water, not a big deal. I'm just gonna do 15 grams of flour. I always do my water before my flour because it makes it easier to stir everything in. And there's my 15 grams of flour, and I'm just gonna stir this in. Again, you can use all-purpose or bread flour. Just make sure that you have some whole wheat or whole grain. You could get stone mill flour in the specialty section of the baking area, I believe. Or you can go to like a Whole Foods, Sprouts kind of store, and they should have some. So now my jar is nice and clean and wiped down. And I'm just going to put the lid on, again, not airtight, and set this aside for 24 hours, and then we'll be back to feed it tomorrow.